So in this example, basically, you go to the little ad, you show up at the car place, you got yourself a burger, you're looking around, and then wow, voila, you see this amazing car, you see this beautiful car, and you're like, wow, this is an amazing car, and it just catches your attention. And then you're like, I want to get this car. And then you go talk to the guy, and you're like, hey, what's going on with that car there? Right? And he's like, oh yeah, that car actually that's only been driven once. This guy brought it back though, so we ended up dropping the price on it. Nobody's really bought it. We've actually had it sitting here for like 3 weeks. If you want to check it out, you can actually test drive it. And you're like, yeah, I'll test drive it. And then you hop in, you test drive it, and you fall in love with this car. You just completely fall in love with this car, right? So you're driving it, you think it's amazing, you can see yourself in it, and you go back, and then what happens? Well, you go back, and then you buy the car. And so then this is the fulfillment of the belief that you had already. You believed for it, and then it has now been like created and actually manifested physically. You've got it now. So what happens between the interim of, your belief and then the actual manifestation of it physically doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't make any difference. It's going to be this natural process that you're going to walk through. The events will occur naturally. The right people will show up. You'll do the correct things because it's the belief is actually what's bringing this into reality. So, it's like if you believe that you're going to be the best fighter in the world, you're going to be fighting a lot, right? You're going to be, someone's going to hit you and you're going to get hit, right? And you're going to feel it and you're going to say, no, I'm not going down. I'm a really great fighter, right? That's different than if you don't believe that and you're a fighter and then someone hits you and you don't have that internal mechanism pushing you forward, right? It's literally like, this is completely automatic. You don't have to do anything. Like, so many people get caught up about like, what should I do after I've done the process of like believing for something. Like once I believe that I have it, I believe that it's done. What do I do now? You don't do anything. There's nothing else for you to do. That's the entirety of your part. Like, you're not involved with anything else of the process. The process will naturally unfold, it will naturally occur, and things will begin to happen that just seem like total crazy coincidences, but they're a part of this sequence of events that happens that leads you to the desired result. So this is really key. This is really important. It's so valuable to know. And honestly, you can just breathe a sigh of relief because you don't have to do a whole bunch of stuff to make this thing work. All your job is to believe, right? It says, ask and you shall receive. That's all that's required. You ask, and then a series of events happens. Naturally, life occurs. You can just put that away and you don't have to think about it all the time. You don't have to worry about it all the time. It'll just show up for you. It'll just happen. And it'll be completely natural, and you'll look back on it and you'll say, wow, that didn't happen how I thought it was going to happen. Or maybe you'll say, wow, that actually kind of happened in kind of a normal, predictable way. Because the route that you take it's none of your concern, right? The route that things happen, it doesn't make any difference to you. Whether or not, if you want to move to a different state, right? Maybe you go tour the state and you say, I want to move to California. And then you go through, like through your college, there's this college tour of California and you get to go see houses there. And you're like, wow, this is really cool. I really do want to move to California. And then you end up moving to California. Or maybe for you, it's instead of doing that, you literally buy a house in California and just pack up all your stuff and move to California. It doesn't really matter what the sequence of events is, because if you think about it, both of those events, you end up in California with a house in California, right? So there's a million ways that things could play themselves out. It doesn't matter to you. It's not relevant to you. Things are going to happen in the most natural way, in the normal sequence of events. They're just going to happen, and then boom, that result is going to play itself out. So don't get caught up in like the how. Don't get caught up in thinking like, what do I got to do after I, do the initial process of like just believing. It's the whole thing is the process, right? You wake up every day and that is the process. So all you got to do is believe. Simply believe. So if you want to get started with this, if you actually want, if you want to create anything that you want in your life, like anything, I'm talking anything, if you want to have, I don't know, $100,000 in your bank account, or you want to move to a different state, you want to move to a different country, and you don't know how that can happen, or whatever your desires are for your life, right? This channel is called Creation Mastery for a reason. We want to help you to create your life. Go to the link below. There's a book below. It's totally free. It's literally an 8-page read, so it'll take you like 5-6 minutes to read, but it'll tell you everything that you need to know to actually create whatever you want in your life. It's simple, it's easy, and you can get started with it right now. So check it out. It's totally free, doesn't cost you anything, and it can really help you to get what you want out of your life.